Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sir.
I'm happy to see you all today. Before we begin, let's take a short moment to pause and pray. Please bow your head and close your eyes. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Dear God, thank you for this new day. Thank you for being with us, or giving us the chance to learn and be with my students. Please help us focus and understand our lesson. Guide us to be kind, patient, and hardworking. Bless our families, my students, and our loved ones. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, thank you, everyone. You may now look up. So, how are you today?
We're good,
We're
sir.
good.
Did you sleep well?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, that's good. Did you have your breakfast?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We did.
Yes,
That's good to
sir.
hear. And I hope you're ready because we'll be doing a fun and creative activity this morning. I know you will enjoy this. So don't worry, it's not hard and you'll get to share something interesting. So, let's begin.
Mama, makaload ka na
May
pa.
request to please next slide.
Palodi ko mo dyan. Kaya gamay na lang kaya kung kuan man.
But before we're going to continue to the discussion
Kaya,
proper,
parang
let me read to you our objectives or learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, you students will be able to identify the key elements of an event. Like, for instance, those who, what, when, where, why, and how. The second things that the student will be able to learn are the sequence of events, logically using appropriate transitional words. And the third one is, next slide, Miss Velez. There you go. Narrate a personal or observed event clearly and coherently, incorporating the learned elements. And last one is to utilize digital tools like Padlet for collaborative brainstorming and sharing narratives. Next slide, please. Today, we're going to start with a fun and exciting activity called Event Brainstorm Blast. These will help us warm up our minds before we write or share more later. So for this activity, we'll be using Padlet, a digital wall where you can post ideas. Do you remember how we used Padlet during our last activity?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, that's great. That makes things easier for us. And since you already know how to post it on Padlet, we don't need to practice it again. Today, you'll get to post something short, fun, and interesting. And I'm excited to see your ideas. Let's go ahead and begin the activity now. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you so much. Now we are ready to start our activity. I will now share with you a link to our Padlet wall. So it's called Memorable Moment and News. Please look at your screen, or if you cannot look at your screen because due to your internet connectivity, you can check in our group chat and click the link when you see it. Okay? Since you're on the Padlet page, here's what you need to do. Think of an event, think of one event that you can choose from or you can choose, yes, you can choose from two types. First is special or funny memories from your life, like a birthday party, a family trip, a school activity, or a funny or surprising things that happened to you, or a news story that you heard or watched something that happened recently, like on TV, Facebook, or TikTok. But wait, don't write the full story yet. Just share one short sentence, a little cue, something that will make us curious. All right? Like, for instance, you're just going to give us the cake fell, we got lost on a trip, or I met a celebrity. So you see, everyone, you see, class, that it is very short, but it makes you want to know more, right? Okay?
Yes,
You can.
sir.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. So that's what I want you to do.
Okay, sir.
Again, only post one short sentence and try to be creative, fun, or mysterious. You can use emojis if you want, and just keep it clean and respectful. So at this point, everyone, I will give you 2 minutes to go to the application, and I will give you, yes, the 2 minutes, or the allotted 2 minutes. You are going to write the things that I want you to write. Okay? So let me share my screen and let's see your responses. I'm very excited. Are you excited, class?
Yes, sir. We are.
Sir.
Oh, good to hear. Can you see my screen now? Okay, I see many responses. And I think you, all of you, have already responded. And yes, I see some great posts already, very interesting ideas, and I like how you are being creative. So, class, you keep it up. And a virtual clap for everyone. Make sure that your post no is classmates post while we wait for everyone to finish. Okay, class, and I think all of you have already submitted. Let's take a look on our Padlet wall together. Are you with me, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir.
thank you so much for the response. Now, there are awesome. I love how you were all creative with your clues. Now, let's hear more about a few of these posts. Let me see. Yes, Christine, would you like to help me out?
Yes, good morning, sir. I am sorry for the background noise because I am currently traveling. So I would like to share about what I have posted in the Padlet. So that happened last summer when me and my cousins were stuck in an elevator with our classmates. At first, we were like so scared, but we ended up laughing and taking selfies. So that's all, sir. Thank you.
Wow, that must have been a wild experience. Thank you for sharing, Christine. Now, let's hear from someone who posted about a news story. Christy, would you like to share your post? Volcano erupted near our province.
Yes, sir. Last week I saw on the news that a volcano erupted near our province. We were not affected, but we could see the smoke from far away, and it was all over Facebook.
Thank you, Christy. That's a big event. I'm glad everyone was safe. A virtual round of applause for Miss Christy, everyone, and also for Miss Christine for the previous respond. Okay, let's hear one more from Miss Maricar. Do you want to hear another one, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Your post said I spilled juice on my report card. Tell us more, Miss Dinolan.
So, good morning again, sir. So, yes, sir. So, it was a funny and embarrassing moment. So, I was showing my mom the card while drinking juice and I accidentally spilled it. So, she laughed and we both laughed, but I had to get a new copy, sir. So, that's it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for being brave and sharing that, Miss Maricar. That was funny, but indeed honest. Anyone else want to share? Okay, so I guess, yes, anyone? And I guess no, there's no one. So it's a great job, everyone. So a virtual round of applause for all of us. So let us continue to the next one. So I will choose three posts from our Padlet wall. For each post, I will ask you questions like what happened, who did it, who was there, when did it happen, where did it happen, why was it important, and how did it happen. Okay? And now, let's start. You can post something on the wall. Okay, I see some responses. So let us see the first post that the cake fell. What do you think happened, Miss Maricar?
Maybe, sir, someone dropped the cake or maybe it slipped from their hands, sir.
Good. Do you think, what do you think, or who do you think, who do you think was there, Miss Maricar?
I think the person who was carrying the cake, or maybe the friends or the family of the owner of the cake, sir.
Oh, I see. When do you think this happened?
Um, so obviously, so I assume that it is a birthday party or
Mm.
maybe an occasional occasion, sir.
Okay, I see Miss Maricar, no, as I think you're choppy. Yes, Miss Maricar. And we cannot and it is very normal in having this kind of modality that there are things that will really occur or that there are unpredictable things that will really happen. So again, let me ask you, Miss Maricar, when do you think this happened?
I think, sir, at home or in the restaurant or maybe in some stores, sir.
Okay, thank you, Miss. So why do you think it was important or memorable, Miss?
Because everyone wanted to eat the cake and maybe it was funny but also embarrassing, sir.
Okay, I see. How do you think it happened, Miss Maricar? I think Miss Maricar is experiencing difficulty.
Maybe it was
Or
sad for them, sir.
okay, okay, thank you. That's a great job.
And maybe they were
Somehow this
running.
question help us understand more. Okay, so let us see the second post. The bus left without me. So let's do another one. The bus left without me. What do you think happened in this particular scenario? Who answered
Um,
this? Okay, Miss
Hello,
Sacaday.
sir. Good morning. It's me. Actually, sir, I was late, so the bus left, and the bus left without me because I was late.
And who was there, Miss Sacaday?
The other passengers, of course, and the bus driver.
When did it happen, Miss?
In the morning, I'm on my way to school, but I was late. So yeah, that was
Oh, and where did it happen?
at the bus stop.
Okay, and what, or I mean, why was it important, Miss Sacaday?
Because I really need to go to school early because we have a very important project to make, and I was late, so I think it was really a bad day for me.
Oh, I see. It's very important to really go to school. And how did it happen, Miss Sacaday?
Actually, when I was late, I'm not that late. It's not that I was really late. It's just happened that maybe I was late for a few minutes. That's why the bus didn't wait for me any longer.
Okay, that's great, class. A virtual round of applause for Miss Maricar and Miss Sacaday. Would you like to add some more, everyone? Would you like to hear something from another response of your classmates?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. So let me check. Last one. Let us see this, or let us hear from volcano erupted last week. What do you think happened?
Maybe because, sir, the volcano released magma.
Ah, who was there?
The people living near the volcano, sir.
Ah, I see. When did it happen, Miss Velez?
Last week, sir. Last week.
I see. And where did it happen, Miss Velez?
In the province. In the
Why was it very important?
I think it's very important that the people will know so that they can prioritize their safety.
Okay. And for my last question, Miss Velez, how did it happen?
It happened because the volcanoes erupt, maybe because there was a release of the magma inside of it.
Oh, I see. And it was very devastating event of your life, Miss Velez, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A virtual round of applause also for Miss Velez class. And good job, everyone. You see, these 6 questions help us see the full story. This is what we call narration, telling the whole story of an event. When we answer these questions, we make the story more clear and complete. And who don't want to hear stories that are incomplete? Diba? Need we all need to hear stories that are very detailed. Am I right, class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so remember to think about these questions whenever you tell a story. So any questions or things that you want to say,
None so far,
class?
sir.
Nonsense.
Okay, great. That's great. Let's keep going on our next activity. Let me stop my screen and may I request Miss Velez to please, yes, I see the screen now. Kindly please go to the next slide, Miss. Today, or on the R means, you can raise your hands. Yes, yes, Miss Velez.
It's like telling a story, sir.
Correct. Next slide, please. Miss Velez has a point that narration is the act of telling a story or recounting a series of events in a logical sequence. It answers six important questions. So let's go through them. Next slide, Miss Velez. Okay, so are you familiar with that six? Anyone from the class?
Yes. Yes,
Why
sir.
are you familiar with that?
Okay, so I am familiar with that, sir, because those six important questions, it is, or it can make, or it can create a comprehensive story that the students can understand easily.
Okay, are you familiar with this? Because we've tackled this a while ago. Am I right?
Yes, sir. In our
Yes,
Okay, the
activity.
sir.
narration who, when, where, why, and how. So let's delve into it in the next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. May I request somebody to please read the first bullet? Yes, Miss Sacaday.
Who? It refers to the subject or individuals involved in the event or action. It answers the question, who is it about?
Okay, a virtual round of applause for Miss Sacaday. Okay. Why is Maricar laughing?
I just
Okay, the modality. Okay. So correct, no, Miss Sacaday. The who, this identifies the main character or the individuals that are involved in the story. So it answers the fundamental question: who is this story, or who is this story about, or the who can encompass protagonist, antagonist, supporting characters, and even inanimate objects that play significant roles. Okay, am I understood? That's
Yes,
yes,
great to
sir.
sir.
hear. So let's proceed to the word what. Can anyone or can anybody read the next or the second bullet? Yes, Miss Christy.
Okay, sir. So, what describes the action, event, or situation taking place? It answers the question, what is happening?
Thank you, Miss Christy. A virtual round of applause for Miss Christy class. Okay, this once we hear the word what, so these describes the central action, event, or situation of the story. So it answers what is happening, or the what is the core plot of the event or the element, the main event or series of events that drive the narrative forward. And it also refers to what happened in a particular scenario or what happened in a particular story. Do you get it, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see some
Yes, sir.
multiplies. Okay, that's great. And let's shift our focus to the third bullet. May I ask Miss Christine to please read it for the class?
So we are in the third bullet, sir, right?
Yes, Miss
Okay,
Christine.
so specifies the time or date of the event or action. It answers the question, when is the event happening?
Okay, thank you, Miss Christine. A virtual round of applause for Miss Christine. Once we hear the word when, this specifies the time frame of the story. It answers when is this happening? And this could be a specific date, time period, or even a season. And it's crucial for establishing the story's context and placing. And always bear in mind, class, that once you hear that word when, we always associate that one with the phrase when the event took place. Okay, am I understood? Okay, I see some emoticons again. So I see that you really progress well. And I hope we can progress
Ka na
this one
mag-excited.
up to the
Tomorrow.
next slides, okay? And now let us proceed to the word where. Can anybody read it for the class? Yes, Miss Cabanas.
Okay, sir. So where indicates the location of the event or action. It answers the question, where is the action taking place?
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Cabanas, and a virtual round of applause for Miss Cabanas for reading the word where. So these pinpoints the location. Once you hear the word where, we always see that or associate that on a particular location or place. And it answers where is these happening. So the setting can be crucial element influencing the character's actions, the mood, and overall tone of the narrative. Am I right, everyone?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for responding. And now let us proceed to the second or the second to the last important question. May I ask somebody to please read it for the class? Yes, Miss Velez.
Explain why explains the reason or motivation behind the event or action. It answers the
Just
question,
crying.
why is this
Just
happening?
crying.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Velez, for reading the definition of the word why. A virtual round of applause for Miss Velez. Okay, once you hear the word why, this explores the motivation or reason behind the events and characters' actions. So it answers, always bear in mind this, guys, because it is very helpful for us or for you to become more eloquent or to become more or better in in asking or in telling a particular story. So it answers, why is this happening? Understanding the word why adds a depth and complexity, making the narrative more engaging and believable. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because it delves into the character's intention, the underlying causes and the consequences of the actions that were taken. Okay, am I understood? That's great to hear. To see. Let's proceed to the last one, the how. Can anybody read it for the class? Yes, Miss Christine.
Ako dahil nabas mo ni sir.
Yes, Miss Christine. You are you there? Okay, I think Miss Christine is not couldn't hear me well, so may I request Miss
Maybe she is.
Maricar to please read it for us.
Okay, so how? It explains the method or manner in which the event or action takes place. It answers the question, how did it happen?
Okay, a virtual round of applause for Miss Dinolan. So once we hear the word how, this explains the method or manner in which the events unfold, or the event, or the things, or the scenes unfold. It answers how did this happen? And the word how details the process, the sequence of events, and the specific choices made by the characters that shape the story's progression. And it
Patay
addresses
ba?
the mechanics and the style of narration. And always
Gigausan
bear
ko
in
na.
mind that once you hear the word
Kiss pa ko.
how, it is associated with the phrase how the story is
Mama,
unfolded or
gibira ko na
how
ako, ma.
it happened. Okay, am
Oh,
I
maghilak
understood?
di ba na? Sige, ma, hindi ka pa mulaog.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the response, Miss Velez.
Luya lagi na mga
May I
gikuha. Sige, tuto
request
ganiti kuha
to.
na. Maghilak na na siya.
Okay, that's it. So, these are essential in making a complete and a clear narration. Now, when telling a story, it is also important to arrange events in chronological order. So, do you know what chronological order means? Does anyone in the class know what does it mean or signifies? Yes, Miss Maricar.
Yes.
What do you think is the definition of the word chronological order?
Um, I have an idea, sir, about a chronological order. So this is the sequence of a particular story that starts from the beginning, that to be
Bahisa na
followed
lang.
by the middle of what was happening of the story, and to be followed by the last part of the story, which is the conclusion or the finalization of the story, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for that idea, Miss Maricar. A virtual round of applause for Miss Maricar. And correct, Miss Maricar got a point that chronological order is the arrangement of events in the order of which they occurred in a time. And it is very necessary a timeline of events presented from the earliest to the latest. Okay? And now let's proceed to the next slide. Can anyone from the class read the transitional devices? You can raise your hands if you want to read. Yes, Miss Sacaday.
Transitional devices, also known as transitions, are words or phrases that link ideas and provide a smooth flow between sentences, paragraphs, or even entire sections of writing. They act like bridges, helping readers follow the logical progression of your thoughts.
Thank you, Miss Sacaday. A virtual round of applause for her. So, we use transitional devices to guide the readers through the story. Okay? And the meaning, or to elaborate the transitional devices. So these are words or phrases or in a sentence that create a smooth flow between ideas, sentences, and paragraphs in your writing. So they act as bridges, guiding the reader through your thoughts and making your writing more coherent and easier to understand. So they show the relationship between different parts of the text, improving clarity and reliability. Okay? So why do you think in a particular story, or once you're telling something or you are hearing something, why do you think it is important to have clarity and reliability class? Do you have any idea? Yes, Miss Velez.
Come again, sir?
Why do you think, Miss, in a particular, once you hear something from someone or you want to share something, it is really important or significant to have clarity and reliability.
I think, sir, it's very important first to have clarity for us to avoid miscommunication or misunderstanding, because if it's not clear, sir, then there will be different interpretation, and if there's a variety of interpretation, then there will be a miscommunication. And also, it we must ensure that the information we get is reliable so that we cannot get fake news,
Pwede naman
because
tayo.
it will it's not reliable, and it's not good to receive that kind of information.
Wow,
That's it.
Miss Velez. A virtual round of applause for Miss Velez for that informative answer. So she's correct that once
May, i-check nga
the message is
Sportsmaxig.
clear and
Nagilap na to
or
ha.
concise or reliable, there is no room for miscommunication because you are being understood to your receiver, and your receiver will understand what you are
Ha?
telling. Okay? Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the response. So let's go to the next slide, Miss Bella. Okay, thank you, Miss. So again, as what I have tackled a while ago, that the use of transitional devices is to guide the reader through the story. Let me show you some. So these are the things or the examples of transitional devices. May I request someone to please read the first bullet? Yes, Miss Christy.
Okay, so beginning first, initially, to start with, once upon a time.
Okay, so these are the things that we can see at the beginning of what your claim is all about, right? And these are the common phrases that we tend to hear or we tend to see in a particular sentence or a particular text or even through communication, because it is in the word from the word beginning. So it is something associated with the word first or initially, to start with, once upon a time. And to proceed, let's tackle the word middle. So the phrases that are related, or the words that are connected with the word middle, or once you hear the word middle, you can always use an you can use these sentence, or no, not sentence, these words. Like for instance, the next, then, after that, meanwhile, later, and as a result. And from the last example of transitional devices, we have finally, eventually, in the end, and to conclude. So do you get that, class?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
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 Hey, that's nice to hear. So why not, let's try to use that in a sentence. Are you open for that particular battle?
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to test you if you have really learned something from what I have discussed. Okay. So if I say blank, the boy woke up late for the school, what can I put in the beginning? Anyone can answer. You can raise your hands. Yes, Miss Cabanas. Is Miss Cabanas around? Okay, I think Miss
Yes, sir.
Cabanas. Oh, okay. So what do you think is the answer for that question, Miss?
I think, sir, we can put first or initially, sir.
Excellent. Now, remember that a good narration should have clarity, be coherent, and use descriptive language to make it more engaging. Okay? So, a virtual round of applause for Miss Cabanas. For my next question, everyone, why do you think descriptive words are important? Yes, Miss Raven Marie.
What is it again, sir? Sorry, I don't have an idea, sir.
Ah, you don't have an idea. Okay, let's ask another students from the class because Miss Raven has no idea, and it is part of growing. That if you don't have an idea, you can ask and tap the shoulder of your fellow classmates. Okay, because we are here at the school and we are discussing something because we want to broaden our mind, sharpen our mind, and let our wings fly and reach the sky. Okay? So may I ask someone from the class? Yes, Miss Christine. I see Miss Christine. So why do you think, Miss Christine, that descriptive words are important? Yes, Miss Christine, you're acknowledged. You can speak now, Miss Christine. I think Miss Christine is not around. So let me call somebody from the class again. Okay, I see Miss Ejem is very eager to answer these questions. So, yes, Miss Ejem, you are acknowledged.
Okay, so descriptive words are important because they help the reader imagine what is happening. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Exactly. And that makes the narration interesting and vivid. Okay? A virtual round of applause for Miss Christine. And for the next question, guys, or for the next question, class, why do you think, so I want you to think, huh? Why do you think, I think it is already answered. Okay, this question, the question is answered by Christy correctly. And my last question is that, why do you think learning these transitional devices significant for ourselves? Yes, Miss Maricar.
Okay, so using or utilizing the transitional words, sir. So it will help us create a comprehensible story, but not just as a creator, we can take an advantage for that is the readers will also take benefit from that in a way that they can understand more the story comprehensively and more fastly, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Miss, and a virtual round of applause for her. So, great job, class. Let's now move on to the application of activity where you'll try to write your own short narration using what you have learned. So, next slide, please. Next slide, please, Miss Velez. Okay, thank you, Miss. Now that you've explored the elements of narration and how to use the transitional devices, it's time to put your learning into actions. Are you all ready?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Kindly open your Padlet on your device, and we'll be using it for our next activity called Story Sequence. So you can scan the application, or you can scan the QR code for you to be delivered in a particular application. Okay? And let me share my screen for all of you. Can you see my screen now, class? Can you see it, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I posted something here, a question. These answers are from my previous class, and I want you to answer something and put it in this application. Wait, I am still looking for the question. Okay. So I've posted, this is what I posted. I posted a short story entitled The Mysterious Map. So please take a few minutes to read it carefully. So I will give you 2 minutes for you to answer and post your responses in the GC. And your time begins now. You can post it, guys, or you can post it, class, because the time is ticking. Okay? And I hope that you will read carefully so that you will not miss a single thing or a single word from the story that I gave you. Okay? And I think your answers are already here, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. We posted it
Yes, sir.
already.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. You answered it correct. You answered it very fast, and I really admire you all for that. And now that you have read the story, here's your task. And create a new Padlet post where you can narrate the events from the story in your own words. Make sure to include the 6-1, the, like for instance, the who, the what, when, where, why, and how. And use at least three transitional words like first, then, eventually, and etc. To clearly show the sequence of events. And feel free to add relevant images or short video to enhance your narration. And it could be a lighthouse, a treasure map, or a beach, anything that fits the story. Okay? So that is for your second um, thing you need to do. And what I am going to ask you for that is that you will read another story and make use of those directions that I gave you. Okay, so there will be two applications that you're going to submit, class. So the first one is you've already posted it in the mysterious map, or here in the application that is entitled the mysterious map. And now I want you to do it for yourself and to see a story and then use those things that I've discussed. Okay? Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, Miss Maricar, you are acknowledged.
So, sir, can we write it like a story or does it have to be in a bullet points?
Great question, Miss Dinolan. So please write it in a paragraph form like a story. So use your creativity, but don't forget to include all the important narrative elements we discussed. Okay? Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir, but I have an additional concern, sir. So, can we work with a partner with this activity?
Ask everyone to write their own version first, and you'll get to collaborate during your peer reviews. So, this is for your second activity, okay? And once you finish your post, read at least two narrations by your classmate. Use Padlet's comment section to leave a constructive feedback. And I hope, guys, or I hope, class, that you will not post something that will really hurt your classmates' heart, okay? And I think in order for you to submit something, you're just going to click the plus or the plus sign in this part. And I hope you see that in your screens, okay? Because those constructive feedbacks will not just help you as a writer, but also it will help your fellow students or your classmates to know which area they need to excel or they need to improve. Okay, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh yes. Is there anyone from the class who raised her hand? Oh, I see Miss Velez. Okay, you are acknowledged, Miss Velez.
Sir, can we post emojis, sir?
Sure, but keep your comments respectful and helpful, as what I have said earlier. Just do constructive feedback once you post comments. But also, you can also put some emojis and focus on what makes the narration clear and engaging. Because, as what I have said, you can post anything there, but do not use negative words. Okay? So I
Okay,
think
sir.
that's all for the direction that that I gave you. And I will now stop sharing, okay, so that we can see the PPT. And may I ask Miss Velez Athea Shanine Bragat to please, yes, open the PPT for the class to see the next bulleted words. So before we move on, can someone share what they learned while retelling the story? Oh, yes, Miss Athea, you're acknowledged.
In telling a story, sir, it's very important that we are clear. And for us to be clear in telling our story, we must use transitional devices so that we will retell and we will narrate the story in a clear and concise way.
Oh, I'm so touched that my students have really ripped something from what I have discussed. And I want another one. May I request Miss Maricar to have something to share to the class if you what you have learned during our discussion. Yes, Miss Maricar, you're acknowledged.
Okay, sir. So I've realized that it is very crucial that we should use the five W's and also the one H, and also the most importantly is the usage of transitional words, because these components can really helps make the story more clearer and more comprehensive, sir.
Thank you so much, Miss Maricar and Miss Velez. A virtual round of applause for them, class. So, exactly their point. That's the goal. A well structured narration not only tells a story, but also it helps the reader follow along smoothly, right?
Yes,
Okay, I
sir.
see some emoticon. And now for the assignment class, and I hope you see the screen. Can you see the screen clearly?
Yes,
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 sir.
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 Okay, so that it is also clear for you, because maybe for some they cannot hear me due to the internet connectivity, but you can read what is in the PPT. So we will still make an output. Are you eager for that?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's the spirit. So narrate another significant event from your life or from an historical moment you've researched. Post it down in the Padlet link that I will provide the class, focusing on the descriptive language and clear sequencing, and be prepared to share it in the class tomorrow. So I will be sharing the link in our group chat. And I do believe that you are all active in that particular group chat. Okay? Am I right? Are you all active? So that
Yes,
I
sir.
can share the
Yes,
links
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
later.
sir.
sir.
Okay. And I think that ends our discussion for today. So we would be all for today's discussion, or for today's fruitful and engaging discussion with the class. So goodbye and thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Goodbye
sir.
and
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
thank
Thank you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Bye
Okay,
and
thank you
thank
and
you, sir.
goodbye.
Goodbye and thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Mana guys?